Hello and welcome back to MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic. In today's video, we are going to open the second and final pre-constructed deck from Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and today it's all about Coven Counters. What's up, MTG BC, baby? That is the MTG Burgeoning community. Here we are once more as we are about to liberate another pre-constructed commander deck from its box. All right, this time it is the Selesnya build from Innistrad Midnight Hunt with the new mechanic of Coven. So let's crack this bad boy open and let us feast on the goodies inside. All right, step one, get the deck. Zoop, put that bad boy right there. Step two, punch out these wonderful little markers. Might as well get all possible value out of what these babies cost, which, let's be honest, they're not terribly overpriced. If anything, they're pretty much a good steal if you can get them at the pre-release price. Maybe like a first flash kind of thing. Yeah, they're definitely worth it. I have been most pleased with every single one of these decks that I've purchased. All right, so get that out of the way. We have our divider. Uh-oh, wait, we're missing one of the black ones. We're missing one of the black ones. Where did it go? Well, I'm sure it'll turn up somewhere. I don't know where the heck. There should be three. We'll find it. We're not really worried about the counters. We are here. There it is. That's why we're here. That's hopefully why you're here too. All right, we have our spin down. We've got more packaging that we'll just get rid of. We got our deck box. Deck box are going to go on the heads of Tamio and Jace. We're going to put our sweet spinner there and our how to play commander right there. And here we go. It is time. Let's get it on. All right. The front-facing commander. We're going to look at her or him. What is it? It is pretty sure it's a her with a name like Lenore. But you never know. So let's... Come on. Oh, it's fighting us. It's fighting us. It's going to lose, but it's putting up a good old battle. There we go. Yes, yes. Crinkle up that self. There we go. All right. Let's check you out first. We are looking at Lenore, Autumn Sovereign. We got a 0/4. Oh, my goodness. All right, 0/4 for 2 in Selesnya. At the beginning of combat on our turn, we put a +1/+1 counter on up to one target creature we control. Then, if we control 3 or more creatures with different powers, draw a card. Initially, it seems like quite a number of hoops to jump through just for the payoff of drawing a card. Oh, there's our other counter. Just for the payoff of drawing a card. I don't know. At this moment, I'm not convinced, but one card does not a commander deck make. Let's check out the secondary. Ooh, this one actually has much nicer foiling than the front-facing commander. If you can take a look at this, folks. Lenore on the left is much darker than Kyler's Sigardian Emissary. The foiling on Kyler is a lot clearer and not as dark. Now, I don't know if that's purposely because of the artwork or the ambiance or whatever Lenore is trying to represent, but just from an eye test appeal, Kyler is a sharper card. All right, Lenore, you're going there. All right, so let's check out what Kyler's going to do. 3 in Selesnyan colors for a 2/2. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under our control, put a +1/+1 counter on Kyler. Other humans we control get +1/+1 for each counter on Kyler. Immediately, I already like this commander more than I like Lenore. The payoff is better. We're building up an army. We're going to use those +1/+1 counters to boost the power and toughness of our creatures, sending them into combat, and most likely winning and trampling over our opponents. I think Lenore's ability is a little too slow, and I don't think the payoff is strong enough to warrant or justify her being the primary commander of this deck. So for me right now, I prefer Kyler over Lenore. Okay, here we go. Now it's time for the 98. Let's do it, folks. All right, we have Dawnheart Wardens. 3/3 Vigilance with the Coven mechanic at the beginning of combat on our turn. If we control 3 or more creatures with different powers, creatures we control get +1/+0 until end of turn. Nah, it's not enough. All right, we have Moon Silver Key. That's straight from the set. Abzan Falconer, reprint, Einok Bondkin. All right, so I'm noticing already we're getting a +1/+1 counter theme, a couple of Outlast mechanics. Here we have Bolster, Orzhov Advocist. Yeah, +1/+1 counters. Ooh, Return to Dust. Swords to Plowshares. Awesome reprint right there. Avacyn's Pilgrim for some ramp. Beast Within. Fantastic. That's like one of the first green cards I go for whenever I'm sitting down to make a commander deck. If green's going in it, one of the first cards I'm grabbing is Beast Within. All right, here's Bestial Menace. Biogenic Upgrade. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures, then double the number of +1/+1 counters on each of those creatures. Whoa, that is pretty sweet. Yeah, that's good for a +1/+1 counter deck for sure. Oh, Eternal Witness is another one of those green cards. Growth Spasm. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn token. It's a little bit better than Rampant Growth because you get the spawn token that we can use for an additional mana. Meh, not bad. Not bad. Inspiring Call, sure. +1/+1 counter payoff. Yavimaya Elder, right. Enduring Scalelord, more +1/+1 counter shenanigans. Here's another one with Juniper Order Ranger. Tristani brings the zoo with her. There's our Arcane Signet reprint. There's our Soul Ring reprint. Ooh, Swiftfoot Boots reprint. Talisman of Unity. Oh, baby. Now that's what I'm talking about. Let's get some more of these talismans printed. All right, man. There's a nice string of awesome reprints. Very, very nice. All right, chunk of lands here. There's our Command Tower. Wonderful. Crosan Verge, Marian Landscape, Path of Ancestry. All righty. All right, here we go. Celestial Judgment, a sorcery. 4 and 2 white for each different power among creatures on the battlefield. Choose a creature with that power. Destroy each creature not chosen this way. Ooh, I don't like this card. Not for the purposes of this deck. However, if I were to build what may be like a wall deck, and I knew all my walls were 0/4, and we were trying to pull off like an Arcades, the strategist build, where you can attack with creatures with Defender, and then they deal damage equal to their toughness, and all their powers are 0, this would be a very, very nice way to clear off the battlefield of every creature that doesn't have a power of 0. Yeah, that could be good in the right build. I don't think that's a great card to put in every single build. Maybe in a Voltron build if you just have the one creature. That's pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. Curse of Conformity. Non-legendary creatures enchanted player controls have base power and toughness 3/3 and lose all creature types. So immediately, I want to put this into a token deck. Like I have a 4-color Saskia token deck that just makes nothing but tokens and more tokens and more tokens. So just dropping this bad boy down and giving all of those creature tokens 3/3 base power toughness. Yeah, that'll work out real well. Curse of Conformity. Yeah, you're pretty good. Moorland Rescuer. If it dies, return any number of other creature cards with total power X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is Moorland Rescuer's power. Ooh, all right. It would be better if this dude had Flash. Can you imagine if he had the Flash mechanic and you flashed this into play in response to a board wipe? Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. Meh. Sigarda's Vanguard. 3/3. There's the Flash right there. 3/3 Flying Flash for 4 and a white. When it ETBs or attacks, choose any number of creatures with different powers. Those creatures gain double strike until end of turn. So again, this is one of those creatures that is going to sync up with the Coven mechanic, particularly in a dedicated Lenore build. It just, I don't know, seems like it's going to be tough to always have that trigger. But still, I mean, it's not out of the realm of unreasonability to think that you can have multiple creatures with different powers. So that one's pretty good. Stalwart Pathlighter. 3/1 with Vigilance, 2 and a white. Coven. Creatures we control gain indestructible until end of turn at the beginning of combat. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. All right, yeah, that could be a good one. All right, Wall of Mourning. There's our 0/4 defender. When Wall of Mourning ETBs, exile a card from the top of your library face down for each opponent we have. And at the beginning of our end step, the Coven mechanic kicks in. We put a card exiled with Wall of Mourning into its owner's hand. A little slow. I would be pretty concerned if we were able to do this. We exile some cards from our library, and then somebody spot removes Wall of Mourning, and those cards are left in exile. Maybe one of them is super important. This card seems to be riskier than the reward, so it's not one I think I would include in any of the decks that I would build. Celebrate the Harvest. Search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of different powers among creatures you control. Whoa! Yeah, that it could be extremely 3 and a green. All right, so as long as, so this is pretty much a double rampant growth for mana cost, or it is, yeah, we'll say double rampant growth, equal mana value of 4. So as long as we have at least 2 creatures with different powers, then this is going to be worth playing. And anything more than that really starts to ratchet up the benefits. All right. I could get on board with this, particularly if we are running like a tribal deck where we can guarantee that we're going to have tons of different creatures in play. This could be one of those things that could really, really put us so far ahead of our opponents that they just wouldn't be able to catch up. Particularly if you can put this kind of card into a landfall build. Whoa, baby. Yeah, that seems really strong. All right, that is definitely, we're actually going to put that up there because that seems like it might be one of the strongest cards, not just in this deck, but in both of the Midnight Hunt Commander decks. Wow. Okay, nice. All right, Curse of Clinging Webs. Oh, that just sounds horrible. All right, 2 and a green. Whenever a non-token creature enchanted player controls dies, exile it, and we create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. Okay. Clearly, we would be enchanting ourselves. Heron Blade Elite, a 1/1 vigilance for 2 and a green. Whenever another human enters the battlefield under our control, put a +1/+1 counter on her. Tap, add X mana of any one color, where X is Heron Blade Elite's power. All right, well, a little slow. Maybe not. A little susceptible with a toughness of only 1. I can see if she's in play, someone could just ping her for 1 before we have a bunch of humans enter. But if we can get some +1/+1 counters on her, or if we have some Anthem or Lord effects on the battlefield, then Heron Blade Elite could be extraordinarily dangerous with the amount of mana we could generate. Yeah, she seems pretty good. All right. Kubris, Harvest Celebrant. We got a legendary tree folk here, folks. It ETBs with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. So it's X and double green. All right. Remove a +1/+1 counter from Kubris. Prevent all damage that will be dealt this turn to another target creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. I immediately want to put this into a Zaxara the Exemplary build with the number of +1/+1 counters that are floating around all over that type of build. Kubris could be a very, very formidable threat to keep all of our creatures alive for the purposes of extending combat and warding off direct damage board wipes. Yeah, all right, Kubris, you're pretty sweet. All right. What do we have here? Ruinous Intrusion, 3 and a green. Exile target artifact or enchantment. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the value of the permanent exile this way. Whoa, wow. Yeah, a lot of what I said with Kurbis, not Kubris. I was mispronouncing that. So let's get you back up into the spotlight. I'm so sorry. Kurbis, not Kubris. Kurbis, Harvest Celebrant. Sorry, Kurbis. All right, Ruinous Intrusion seems like it's just dying to go into a Zaxara build now. I should point out it wouldn't trigger Zaxara's ability because it's not an X spell, but the +1/+1 counters could be doled out onto some of the creatures that we already control. And if we have any of the effects that can double those +1/+1 counters, like Doubling Season or Branching Evolution. Wow, yeah, that could be pretty good. All right, nice card there. All right, Sigardian Zealot, 4 and a green. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose any number of creatures with different powers. Each of them gets +X/+X and gains vigilance until end of turn, where X is Sigardian Zealot's power. This seems reminiscent to Pathbreaker Ibex. This isn't exactly what the Pathbreaker does, but it does reward some creatures with power and toughness boosts at the beginning of combat. Have to keep an eye on this. It would be nice if it gave it some evasion as well. The vigilance is nice. If the creatures are big enough to survive combat, they can stay and protect our life total. We'll have to see. We'll keep an eye on you, you human cleric. Somber Wild Beast Master. 6 and a green. All right, you better bring it. ETBs create a 2/2 wolf, a 3/3 beast, and a 4/4 beast. Creature tokens you control have death touch. Whoa, okay. So we're investing 7 mana, and we're going to get 10 total power and 10 total toughness across 4 bodies, and the tokens that we control have death touch. That seems pretty darn strong. All right, Somber Wild Beastmaster, you are making the cut there, baby. Ooh, Angel of Glory's Rise, 5 and double whites, 4/6. When it ETBs, exile all zombies, then return. Oh, this is a reprint. It's just the new artwork threw me for a moment. Okay. Wow, that new artwork is pretty fierce. That's a lot better than the original, I think. Nice. That's a great card. All right. Bastion Protector is in this deck. Whoa, they reprinted that in this deck? Wow, this card was getting out of control from a price point standpoint. Wow. That is a massive reprint. Holy crap. Wow, wow, wow. All right, yes, Citadel Siege, Cleansing Nova, Custody Soulbinders, Dearly Departed, getting a lot of +1/+1 counter themes, which I can see why it would be included as a way in which to make sure Lenore can trigger every single turn. Herald of War, come on, camera, get in the game here. There we go. Herald of War is a good inclusion. Yeah, Board Wipe, Hour of Reckoning, Knight of the White Orchid, Micaeus the Lunarch, yeah, Odric, Master Tactician, Riders of Gavany, sure. Oh, Unbreakable Formation. That is a fantastic reprint. You're going right there. Victory's Envoy. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. 3 and double white. That seems pretty darn strong. I don't remember seeing this card before. Am I just not remembering this? It's stacked into the reprint stretch here, so it must be a reprint, but I tell you, I don't remember this card. I'll have to check that out after the video just to let's put you up here for a moment. I don't know where you came from. All right, Champion of Lamholt, sure. Death's Presence, more +1/+1 counter shenanigans. Gyre Sage, Mana Ramp, Kessig Cagebreakers, sure. Draw some cards with Shamanic Revelation. Somber Walled Sage is a nice reprint from Avacyn Restored. Verdurous Gearhulk, there's a mythic. All right, that'll work. That'll again solidify the +1/+1 counter theme. Wild Beastmaster, sure. That's going to be a power toughness boost for combat. Heron's Grace Champion. That's going to link up with the humans very well for the +1/+1. Oh, I thought that was original Sigarda for a moment, but it's just Heron's Grace. I thought that was going to be the original Sigarda. She's so strong. Not that Heron's Grace isn't going to be a good fit for this type of build, but original Sigarda. Oh, baby. Yeah, Lifecrafters Bestiary. Okay. All right, we're going to get to our lands. Yep. There's our forests, into our plains, into our cardboard of Lenore, and here are all of our different tokens. Wow, there's a lot of different ones. You don't usually... Actually, hang on. I'm going to put this down for a moment here. Because it's pretty funny. We don't usually see in one deck so many different creature tokens, but snake, wolf, elephant, knight, centaur, rhino, wolf, beast, 2 kinds of beasts, the 3/3 and the 4/4, and then the Eldrazi spot. And if we spin those bad boys around, we have a human soldier, spider, wolf. So Wizards definitely put in enough variability in the deck in order to trigger Lenore as much as possible. But I still, even after reviewing the 98, after we talked about each of the 2 potential commanders in this deck, I still feel that the greater payoff is Kyler. I think Kyler is better over Lenore. I would choose to build over Kyler than I would Lenore because I just don't think the hoops are enough to just draw a card. I would rather do something that's a bit more impactful on the battlefield. And I think Kyler does that a lot more than Lenore, particularly in a straight Selesnyan build where we're most likely going to have only the option of victory through combat. Of course, that's just my vision and my opinion. You let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. This is MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic.